Take you to Washington, D.C. and speak to William Courtney. He is the former U.S. ambassador to Georgia and Kazakhstan. He also served as special assistant to the U.S. president for Russia, Ukraine and Eurasia. He is now an adjunct fellow at the global policy think tank RAND Corporation. Welcome to the program. So much happening right now, and so much has been said there by President Putin in the last hour. Just very briefly, how dangerous is this moment where Russia is being attacked deep into its mainland?
Since last April, when the Ukrainians destroyed Russia's flagship in the Black Sea, the ship Moskva, the Ukrainians have taken the war to Russia in selective strikes. There have been strikes on military bases in Crimea and several strikes inside Russia closer to Ukraine. But the last 3 drone strikes have been at a much longer distance. It's useful to remember, though, that the Ukrainians have an arms industry. They have some leftover drones from the the Soviet era, in which they could have fitted modern inertial navigation units and explosives to carry out these attacks.
Okay, and right now, we heard from the NATO Secretary General saying that Russia is attempting to freeze the fighting in Ukraine over the winter to prepare its forces for a renewed assault. What do you make of that?
Well, Russia has mobilized a couple 100,000 men, but they're not trained. So Russia has very much a need to train those forces before putting them on the front line. It has already sent some untrained forces on the front line, and they have been destroyed in large numbers. The Ukrainians will have an incentive to keep pressing the offensive because they have battlefield momentum. It's going to be freezing soon in Ukraine, and that will enable Ukraine to use mechanized forces for that purpose.
And the Russian president spoke in the past few hours. He warned that the threat of nuclear war is, quote, on the rise. And that was said during a televised annual session of his Human Rights Council. He also said that Russia hasn't gone mad. What do you make of these comments there from the Russian president?
A number of weeks ago, after Xi Jinping and Narendra Modi from India warned President Putin that they did not support the war, and Xi has sent warnings that he would oppose the use of nuclear weapons. Since that time, Putin has stopped talking about the nuclear threat per se. So I think what we're seeing now is a more generalized discussion of all available means. But I think the likelihood that Russia will use nuclear weapons at this point, because not only would the West oppose this, but now apparently its partners China and India would as well, suggests that use of nuclear weapons would be unlikely.
That's good to hear. William Courtney, former U.S. ambassador, thank you so much for speaking to us today on TRT World.
You're welcome.